plant-based woman warrior. Live fierce, stay bold, eat delicious.
You guys are that. You guys are not only plant-based, but you are women and you are warriors. And we're going to talk about that. So how do I become a woman warrior? Plant-based, of course.
You are the original.
You
plant-based
are.
woman warrior.
You're in the category of which we speak.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
AJ, one of my jobs in writing this book, one of the things that was my favorite part was I talked to all 10 grandchildren and I asked them what they felt about being plant-based. Now, our grandchildren are aged 7 when I did this to 27. And I want to just read you a couple of these comments. This is Georgie, who was 8. Without being plant-based, I can't imagine how I'd live. I'd open the refrigerator and see things like chicken wrapped in plastic and just feel like, what happened? And then I can go to Zeb, who was 20 at the time. Plant-based eating checks every box, not killing anything, great for the planet, not burdened by being sick. You feel good. It's the future. And then our son Rips, youngest daughter Hope, who was 7. You're going to love this one. If you eat meat, you die.
Let's get her on the show. I like that. I love that.
She is a character.
Oh, and a half.
But they go on. They're wonderful. And then I really like. I just like every one of them. But here's one. This is Rose, who was 22. Plant-based makes me feel free and has saved me from the emotionally turbulent diet of restriction so many friends in their 20s are caught in.
Yeah.
You get that one.
For women, whole food plant-based nutrition benefits us from head to toe, from front to back. And here's how we're going to talk about it in the undercarriage. And I'm going to use a little prop. What do you say? Virtual conference from Cleveland. Did you watch the NHA? Is that what you were watching?
I didn't go to it, but I watched it I watched it live, and that was a great presentation. The CUVA. Yep.
CUVA. So we'll start from the back here. This is what women have down below in their body. Can you hold this side? In the back, we have what men have. It's an anus, and it's so important. And it dictates a lot of our day, the A. And on a whole food plant-based diet,
on plant-based diet, we don't need to worry about
any of this stuff because yes, there's so much fiber. We're not worrying about constipation, which bazillion people worry about all day, every day. So constipation is not an issue. Diverticulitis comes from having to strain too hard and you're literally making your colon outpouch from straining. It has nothing to do with seeds or corn. If you ate more seeds and corn, you probably wouldn't have diverticulitis. So no constipation, not an issue with diverticulitis. And of course, along with that, hemorrhoids are not an issue. When you are not straining, not pushing, you have this high fiber flow coming out from A. V stands for vagina. And the vaginal space, of course, is the, as I call it in sex ed, it's just this space, it's this lobby. And above which is so much of the important stuff in the female plumbing. Our ovaries so benefited from having a whole food plant-based diet, along with the uterus and the uterine lining, the endometrial lining, especially with women who have fibroids, which are like stalactites that grow down like this dripping blood. So women sometimes get anemic from lack of blood, loss of blood when they have fibroids. And if they get on a whole food plant-based diet with no dairy and no meat, which is really part of the whole, what could create these fibroids, they aren't anemic, they don't have to get their uterus removed, and they may even get pregnant. So, and also the vaginal space itself, I'll wrap this in a second, how it helps with blood flow, but the urethra is where we urinate from, that's obviously leads up to our bladder and our kidneys. And whole food plant-based diet helps that so much because we're not getting exposed to all these intense bacteria reservoirs that can live in things like chicken, which can be really resistant to antibiotics, and UTIs or urinary tract infections. I know they just are so troublesome to so many people that we know, and especially in older women and older men too. I think that I don't know if chicken has to do with all that stuff, but Michael Greger has all kinds of info on that. And if you have a partner who's eating chicken and has that bacteria in their nether region, and you guys are muckling around, there you go, you're exposed again. So data vegan. And C in front, this is the clitoris, the clitoris, the powerhouse there in front, whatever you want to call it, the clit. This tissue is the exact same tissue of the head of the penis, because men and women are made of the same Legos. Men have nipples, women have nipples. Okay. Men have a head of a penis, we have the clitoris, and it's under a hood, just kind of like the foreskin. So the clitoris is here, and it responds to stimulation just the same way that the penis does, but it engorges a little bit. The shaft of the penis is called the corpus cavernosa, and it engorges with blood. We have the same tissue, but it's up here inside our bodies on a pelvic floor, and the corpus cavernosa engorges with blood, and it's like two arms that come up and they wrap around the vaginal barrel, the vaginal space, the lobby here, and the blood flow when a woman's aroused seeps into the vaginal space, that making lubrication. So lubrication, which is a woman's sign for readiness, comes from blood flow, just like an erection, a man's sign for readiness, comes from blood flow. So women, a whole food plant-based diet can benefit us from head space to toe, front to back, and C to U to V to A. Kuva. Yes, these t-shirts are available.